It's 2025 and I've had the iPhone 14 Pro Max for 3 years. Ever since then, the phone has been holding up incredibly well. The phone still feels premium, runs smoothly, and hasn't slowed down a bit. From performance to design to battery life and camera, the 14 Pro Max still feels modern in 2025. So, should you consider buying the iPhone 14 Pro Max today?
What's going on, guys? My name is Kevin Jagade. Welcome back to my video. Today I'll be reviewing the iPhone 14 Pro Max and break down my long-term experience using this phone. And at the end of the video, I'll answer the question of whether or not you should buy the iPhone 14 Pro Max right now. Without any further ado, let's get started. First, let's start off with some background information on the 14 Pro Max. Released in 2022, the 14 Pro Max comes in 4 colors: space black, silver, gold, deep purple, and it offers storage options from 128 to 1 terabyte. I personally picked up the 512 space black option with a case, and ever since then it's been held in excellent condition. The 14 Pro Max is the first phone to introduce 2 standout features: Dynamic Island and Always On Display. 2 features I'll talk about later into the video. Next, let's get on to the design in the 14 Pro Max. Now, when looking at the design of the 14 Pro Max 3 years later, it's still a very premium phone. Stainless steel in the 14 Pro Max still gives the phone a solid high-end feel, making it seem it's still using a premium device today. The matte glass in the 14 Pro Max still keeps the phone from attracting any fingerprints. And 3 years later, I never seen any noticeable fingerprints using the 14 Pro Max. Ever since I used my case, the phone has been in excellent condition. We can't forget about the design of the phone without talking about the display. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is still a very large phone today, coming at 6.7 inches with a Super Retina XDR display. It is still one of the best displays out there, rivaling the most recent iPhones released today. It is still bright, sharp, and buttery smooth thanks to the 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate. Coming from the XS Max, the 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate is a huge factor in me upgrading to the 14 Pro Max. It is such a smooth feature that ever since then, I promised myself never to upgrade to a phone with less than 120 Hz. And then there's Dynamic Island, which replaced the notch. It is more than just a visual update. It is a functional, interactive, and big part of why the phone still feels modern using it today. Now, when it comes to performance and features inside the 14 Pro Max, the phone hasn't missed a beat at all. Powered by the A16 Bionic chip, it handles everything I put into it like a champ. Everyday tasks such as calling, messaging, and browsing seem effortless with this phone. Even with heavier applications such as games, maps, and productivity apps, this phone still hasn't missed a beat at all 3 years later. The most recent iOS updates hasn't slowed the phone down at all. Ever since using the phone, I never experienced any overheating issues in this phone, and even if I do, the phone still handles it very well. Dynamic Island in this phone make everything seem seamless, and like I said previously, it is more than just a visual update. It's a very functional, interactive feature that you can use for everything. I've used Dynamic Island for almost anything, from listening to music, timers, Uber Eats, flight info, mailing delivery, basically everything. And Dynamic Island has been a very convenient feature for me. As for the Always On Display in this phone, I never really use it that much, to be honest with you. The reason why I didn't use it was because I was afraid that it was going to degrade my battery life, so I just turned it off just to preserve the battery life. You can't forget about the performance in this phone without talking about the camera. The 48 megapixel camera still delivers sharp and detailed shots today. Low light shots in this phone is still solid, and the video quality in this phone still feels like flagship content even today. I'm really grateful for this phone helping me create great videos over the years. It's really held up great, and even using it today to film basic videos such as going outside. The video content is still flagship level, and it's a very great camera if you're looking to start your YouTube channel. Now onto the battery life in this phone. Today, the battery health sits at 85%, and the battery life in this phone has been pretty solid so far. The phone lasts for about a day before plugging it in for charge, but 3 years ago when I was using this phone, it would last about 2 days before plugging it in for charge. Battery in this phone really held up well despite its hiccups. The battery life is still very solid, even though the phone has degraded in battery life. And for charging, I mostly charge using the lightning cable. I'm not really much of a MagSafe person, but the fast charging in this phone does me well. I really wish Apple should have included USB-C in this phone sooner rather than later, due to it being more versatile and compatible with all devices, and also me having devices that are compatible with USB-C. It made things a lot simpler for me when it comes to charging. Now, on to what I like about the 14 Pro Max. There's really a lot I love about the 14 Pro Max. First, the display. The display in this phone is still a very beautiful display, even today. And I think the phone 14 Pro Max still rivals the most recent iPhone models released, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max. It is still a very bright, sharp display, and it's very good for viewing content. Display is one of my favorite things about this phone. Another thing, the design of this phone. What more can I say? Even holding it today, it still feels very premium. Using it today, even touching the back, gives it a solid high-end feel, making it feel you're using a premium device. Dynamic Island, very functional, very interactive feature you can use to do background tasks such as music, timers, tracking deliveries. A very convenient feature I love using over the years, despite me having some hiccups at it at first. The performance in this phone still runs like a champ even to this day. The A16 Bionic chip has held up well for over 3 years, and honestly I can see this phone going on for, I'll say, 3 to 5 years before it won't receive any updates. And the phone still handles everything well, from apps, from running apps, watching videos, everyday tasks, calling, messaging, browsing, games, productivity apps, even demanding apps such as video editors. This phone handles them like a champ today. And the camera in this phone is still very good. Still very good to this day. 38 megapixel camera in this phone is still holds up 3 years later. Still delivers very great shots. The video quality in this phone is still flagship level, and is great if you're using the phone to start out your YouTube channel. Onto what I don't like. There's not really much I don't really like about this phone, except for one thing being USB-C. I really think Apple should have started included USB-C in their 14 Pro Max, in the 14 series instead of the 15 series. I really wish Apple should have included USB-C in the phone sooner rather than later, just due to how USB-C is compatible with all devices, and it's also very fast, has good transfer speeds, and just being compatible with every device. And with me using with me having devices that are all USB-C, I definitely could have wished the 14 Pro Max had USB-C, just to make things very simple when using to charge devices, or using devices to transfer other stuff to each other. But with all that I've said in this video, it brings us to the final question. Should you buy the iPhone 14 Pro Max in 2025? Here's my answer. If USB-C is such a big deal for you, then I honestly think you should skip the iPhone 14 Pro Max and look at buying the iPhone 15 series, just due to it not having USB-C. But if you don't mind having USB-C in your devices and prefer using lightning cable, then I definitely think the iPhone 14 Pro Max is the phone for you. It still delivers a top tier experience today, having a great display, good design, and still delivering a premium experience that I think, in my opinion, rivals the most recent iPhone models being released. But other than that, I still think the iPhone 14 Pro Max is still a great phone if you don't mind using lightning cables. With all that being said, that is the end of my video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and press the notification bell to keep up to date on my videos. Also, if you have any friends or family that like watching technology content, please share this video. I really appreciate it. But other than that, that is the end of my video. This is Kevin Jagada, signing out.